There you are, John Augustine back again. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they nailed him to the cross? Were you there when they nailed him to the cross? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they nailed him to the cross? Were you there when they took him down from the cross? Were you there when they took him down from the cross? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they took him down from the cross? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when the stone was rolled away? Were you there when the stone was rolled away? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when the stone was rolled away? Well, you couldn't have been because only the soldiers was there guarding that tomb in case the apostles come to take Jesus away and make out he had risen from the dead. Caiaphas, that clown, this is the stupid way he thought. Truth escaped him completely. And this rock was moved away from heaven. Noise came from heaven. Them shoulders went as white as cheese. They ran like jackrabbits. And Caiaphas, when he saw them, what are you doing here? Go back and mind that tomb. Isn't that the order he's got? No, we're not going back to mind to guard that tomb. Off you go yourself and bring your cronies with you. See how you fared out. Well, well, no, I don't think we do that, says Caiaphas, the fraud. We better reward you for the fruit you got. The 30 pieces of silver. Didn't make any difference what you gave him, Caiaphas. Truth was out, so we know what happened. And Mary Magdalene and a few ladies, the good ladies, going to anoint Jesus in the tomb. Mary went in. She came out crying. He's not in there. Where have they taken him? She's addressing the ladies. So as we can go and get him back. There was a man there looked like a gardener or something. And he says, Mary, and she turned around delighted. Jesus, Mary. See what you're seeing. Go and tell the apostles. Oh, certainly will, says Mary. And off she galloped. And the lady says, well, galloping behind her. The galloping major. So, and then on the road to Emmaus, there was two men walking, and as glum as you like, faces down to the ground. They weren't talking either, they couldn't. And a stranger joined him, and he says, what's wrong with you? Just look as if you saw a ghost. Did you see a ghost? Are you the only one that doesn't know what happened here? What happened? Our Saviour Jesus was crucified, and we don't know what to do. Who's going to save us? So the stranger walked with him and spoke about the scriptures and that's an odd question. Is that so? Something like that. But suddenly their mood lifted. It wasn't whistling, but they felt like it. Joy seemed to fill their heart. But it was getting dark and the stranger was going to go on. They said, hold on there, they said to the stranger. Funny enough, they didn't ask him his name. Come and join us and have a bite to eat and stay the night and continue your journey in the morning. Certainly, he says, I'll have a bite to eat with us. And off he went, and they went into the house. And the lady at the house produced the food. And at the breaking of the bread, they recognised Jesus. Their eyes were opened. And Jesus disappeared, and they looked at one another. What do you make of that? Wouldn't or didn't our hearts fill with joy as he spoke to us on the road? I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll go back and tell the apostles. Did the apostle believe them or Mary Magdalene? I'm afraid not. And when Jesus appeared to the apostles, he said, I sent you messengers, and you didn't believe them. Shame on you. Oh, I'm sorry, says they. But we're terrible sorry. We should have listened to what they had to say and take it on board. But I think Peter and John, to give them their due, when Mary told them, I think they ran to the tomb. John got there first, being younger, and he waited until Peter come, and Peter went in first, and he saw that Jesus wasn't there, and so then they knew, but they didn't really know what happened. But when Jesus appeared to them, then they did know that Jesus had risen from the dead, and they were delighted. But then Thomas wasn't there, and he wouldn't believe when they told him, and they gave out to him. And when Jesus then appeared again, about 8 days later, and Thomas was there, and he said to Thomas, put your hands here out that. And he did. And Thomas said, fell to his knees, he said, my Lord, my God, I'm sorry for my unbelief. And Jesus looked kindly, and Thomas, you believe because you've seen. Blessed are those that haven't seen and yet believe. And that's Catholics down the centuries to the present day you believe, and shed many a tear when we contemplate the passion and death of our Saviour. There you are. I always like to tell that story because you won't hear it anywhere else, but you'll hear it from yours truly every time I do this. So at least you're acquainted with it and you can pass on the good news. So bye now and enjoy the rest of your day wherever you happen to be. And don't forget your prayers, or I'll have a word with you about it. I'm watching. Bye now.